Good morning YouTube fam, welcome back to another video, episode 9 I believe of my bikini prep series. You are more than welcome back to another video and we are currently 11 weeks out. So I have gotten up this morning, I've done my check-in, I've done a chunk of my cardio because I do want to go back to the gym for the Stairmaster later on. So I did 45 minutes, so I still have 20 to do unless my coach increases it today because it is check-in day. I've sent over my check-in. I will pop it somewhere on the screen right now. I literally have 10 minutes to intro this video because I have a very busy morning of clients and posing clients. I've done a chunk of my client check-ins this morning. I think I got 5 done this morning. I'm still waiting on a few, so I'll do them later on. But I have a busy morning of posing clients because I have some of my existing clients just down for a regular lesson online. But also, 2 of my clients, Megan and Adita, are currently 1 day out from their show. They're competing tomorrow. So I am on call literally 24/7 from today till tomorrow, making sure everything is flawless, just those little tips, just those little tweaks 1 day out from their show. So I'll be on call with them later on. It's probably going to be an emotional bit of calls, but we are here for it. Yeah, the team is growing. I have a good few clients joining over the next while and I probably will be capping it soon enough at what I have because we are 11 weeks out right now and energy is definitely going down. So I probably will not be able to take on as many clients as I have been. But we hit a new low this morning. We're feeling somewhat good after a very rocky week, let's say. I've had a tough week with my dog being sick and just the energy was in the bin and I started getting into my own head about not being ready on time because just like last week, my body wasn't really responding very well. But over the last few days, we have actually dropped like 1.5 kilos, which is really good. It definitely puts us back on track to where we need to be. And I'm sorry the lighting is a bit dark in here. The weather outside is kind of up and down today, so we're just going to deal with it. But plan of action for today: first we're going to wait for my coach to get back to me with any updates, so once they come through I will update you. That's why I'm not doing a big prep update right now, because I do want to see where we're going to be going from today. Then I thought today would be a perfect day for a rest day. Today's a rest day, full day of eating, because I told you last week I might do one because food has changed a lot. I told you we've upped my training day food, but really lowered my rest day food. So I thought I'd show you my rest day food today alongside a Q&A. So rather than just sitting down and answering a bunch of questions, I'm going to take you along my day and we're going to answer a few questions here and there. So I will see you for question number 1 or question number 1 and 2 at breakfast today, which I will show you once I'm done with my posing client number 1 and number 2. And then I will catch you at breakfast and answer a few questions. Then we need to get to the gym for cardio number 2, and today is the day I want to put a lot of time into my own posing and create my PCA posing routine for show number 1. I have an idea in my head, but it's time we really get in the studio and practice today. So that is the plan of action. I also need to update on my available posing dates for this month for Instagram. The first 2 weeks are completely booked out. It's mind-blowing. I'm literally booked out for half of July already. So I do have a bit of spaces left for the second half of July. So all of that will be on Instagram, so make sure you follow me. And I also just need to finalize things for the second workshop happening on the 22nd of July here in Galway. I still have a couple of spaces left, so I would like to fill them up. So I will be finalizing all of that this weekend as well. But obviously this weekend is just about nailing my prep protocols, getting the cardio done, getting the food down to a T, and just being there for my girls competing. So I'm going to be an emotional wreck tomorrow. I know it. I'm literally more nervous than they are. But yeah, that's the plan of action. Please please don't forget to like the video, hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment, and head over to Instagram. Follow me there for daily updates, and I will see you at meal number 1. Okay, I'm just finished with my posing clients for the morning, which is actually all of my posing clients for this weekend, because I told you I'll be focusing on my girls competing. So I've taken a little bit of a more chill approach with posing clients this weekend. And I've just got my update from my coach. So cardio is up by 5 minutes. So we're up to 70 minutes of cardio every day. So I've done 45 this morning, 25 left to do, but I am going to go to the gym for Stairmaster like I already told you. But he's also dropped food. Okay, so this is why I waited with meal number 1, because he changed it. So for breakfast, we're going to have 1 egg, 100 mils of egg whites and veg, and that is it. So this is going to have to push me through cardio and posing until I get meal number 2 in a bit later. So yeah, I'm gonna make my meal. I don't think I need to show you how I'm making 1 egg and egg whites, but I will catch you when I'm having it, and we are going to answer some questions. I told you I'm gonna be going through the day, answering questions here and there rather than doing a big sit down, but then at some stage, John and I are gonna sit down together and answer a few couple questions that we received. So I'm gonna go make my meal and also show you the supplements that I take with meal number 1. Okay, so here is the morning stack. We've got a full scoop of fruits and greens for my digestion, 5 grams of creatine every single day. I just take it in the morning to make it easier. Glutamine as well does help with stomach issues to some extent as well. Vitamin C, because obviously in prep your immune system isn't as optimal as you'd like, so you gotta help yourself. And then this depends how my stomach is feeling. I always end the day on it with half a scoop. If my stomach is bad in the morning, I take another half a scoop in the morning. But these greens, the reason I get rule 1 is because they have the same enzyme Digest Max has. So this morning I actually feel pretty good. So we're just gonna stick to this and leave him for the evening. Then here, my cute little Superwoman pill box. We've got D3K2, multivitamin from Supplement Needs, omega-3s from, or fish oils in general, from Trained by JP. We've got one sad little, I can't remember what it is. This is biotin, and I'm just missing one more thing in there, which is Love Heart, which I need to put in there, and then I'll show you my evening supplements in the evening. If you want an in-depth kind of breakdown of what I take, there is a video on my YouTube where I go through all of my supplements. Nothing has really changed apart from implementing a bit more thyroid stack and Love Heart, but I'll show you that in the evening because that's when I take them. So I'm going to put these together, put meal number 1 together, and I'll catch you to answer some questions. Okay, I've got my meal number 1. Can't even properly see it. 1 egg, the egg yolk broke. 100 mils of egg whites, and we've got about 100 grams of veg. I've just done lettuce, cucumber, pickles, mushrooms and peppers, pink salt, bit of sugar-free ketchup. So we've got meal number 1, so let's get into question number 1, and we're gonna keep it very light for the first one. I got a really good question actually off one of my posing clients on Instagram, and it says, if not bodybuilding, what would you be doing? That is a really good question. Many of you probably don't know, a few years back I did start college. I did 2 years of biotechnology, and that was something I was really passionate about at the time. I love science, I still do. I did leave, I didn't finish my degree, mainly because A, it turned out biotech was not the course for me. I did put it down as my number 1 choice because, I don't know, people kind of expected me to. It was a really high point degree, it was hard to get into. And you know, I put it down as choice number 1, hoping I don't get the points and I don't actually get in, because my option number 2 was general science, which I actually wanted to do. But anyway, we went in, we did it. First year was great. I literally had first class honors or whatever you call it, and I really loved first year. But second year is when lockdown hit. I spent all of my college year at home in front of my screen, and I absolutely hated it. I just didn't enjoy it, so I left. Told myself I'll take a year or 2 off to focus on competing, and you know, ever since then I keep competing. Posing has been growing, coaching has been growing, and that is something that I do want to pursue in the future full time. As of now, I just work a regular full-time job on top of everything I do. But I don't know, Maybe if not lockdown, maybe if not competing, maybe I would have stayed in biotech. But I do know it would definitely still be science focused, that's for sure. And I'm not saying I'm done with that completely, because I am planning on going back to college one day, in a year, 2 years, 5 years, who knows. And it'll definitely still be science focused, but just maybe something that will tie in with bodybuilding. So maybe like sports science or nutrition science or something like that, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. My hopes are that posing and coaching takes off so much I won't have to worry about it. But yeah, that's question number 1. I hope that answers it. Honestly, it's a big I don't know. You never know what life throws at you. Maybe I would have finished that degree, maybe I wouldn't have. Maybe I would be doing something completely different. Who knows? 2 questions now. Let me pull it up. I think I took a screenshot of them all. How much supplements and fat burners do you take? Of course. This clearly came from somebody that doesn't actually read my Instagram stories, my Instagram posts, or doesn't watch my YouTube videos, because I've literally explained all of this in one of my previous videos, you know, the Natty No More video. So supplement wise, there is a whole video on my supplements, and obviously I will be showing you some of them today. But fat burner or assistance wise is what that person actually meant, because, you know, fat burners can be just bought over the counter in any supplement shop, but I'd say this person means assistance. So we are on 60 micrograms of clenbuterol or clen. We are on a full tab of T4, and as of today a full tab of T3, and that is all I take. So we have the 2 thyroid hormones and clen, and that is all the assistance that I take. So yeah, I hope that answers that. I know, supplement wise, as I said, I'll just show you throughout the day, and there is a whole video on my supplements. So I'll see you I might see you in the studio. I'll bring my camera with me, I'll show you some of my posing. And John is off to train.
Upper.
Yeah, upper, and we'll be down to answer some questions together later on. There is a good few for the both of us, so I hope you're prepared. I don't think you've seen. Have you seen them?
No.
He hasn't seen the questions. I have seen the questions, obviously. John hasn't seen the questions that people asked the both of us, so it'll be nice to get their live reaction. Anyway, I'm gonna eat this now. It'll probably take me 2 minutes. Won't fill me up at all. Meal number 2 is pretty small as well, but you'll see that when I'm eating meal number 2. But yeah, next time you'll see me, I'll either be posing or have my next meal answering your questions. It is really loud in here, so I don't know if you even hear us, but how was your session?
The session was amazing.
Meanwhile, I did my cardio. I ran into my posing clients who were actually practicing in the gym, and I think in about 30 minutes I made my PCA posing routine. So I have a clip on my phone, so I'll insert it somewhere here. But I'm really happy, and now we're just out to get a coffee and do our groceries. So after that I will sit down and answer a few more questions before we get our next meal in as well. Underground car park vibes. Got my coffee, so let's spill some. Next question. Wait for John to get in the car. This is one I get quite a good bit. Not being rude, you're rude. But are your health issues not a sign to stop bodybuilding? You're so young for such extremes. Now, obviously if bodybuilding and preps cause you health issues, it's definitely an area you have to look at and be like, maybe I shouldn't compete at this point in time, maybe I shouldn't be prepping. But my health issues, or my hormone issues really, started long before my preps, because I was young and stupid and under eating, overtraining and all of that jazz. Then I got my first bodybuilding coach who completely ruined my hormones altogether, before I started working with Mike, who has actually been taking care of my health. We don't do anything without getting our blood work done. And as I said, my health problems are only hormone problems, and they're female hormone problems, which started long before prep. So no, I will not stop bodybuilding or competing because of this. I have seen doctors about it, and they have told me that I'm free to keep doing what I'm doing. So yeah, no, I will not stop bodybuilding. I'm not too young for such extremes because I love what I do. back home now from grocery shopping. Took us about an hour, but we're literally sorted for the whole week. Let me show you the fridge. It is packed with lettuce and veg because prep life. But it is 3:30 p.m. right now. I have half an hour before I have to check in with one of my posing clients that's competing tomorrow. So I need to get a meal in really, really quick. And that won't be an issue because the meal is absolutely tiny. That is all there is to it. 4 corn cake thins, 20 grams of nut butter, 15 grams of whey that I make into a paste. The whey that I use is the Train by JP Isolate that I've shown you in many previous videos. Let's answer another question while we're at it, shall we? First of all, somebody asked me, do I just compete in juniors or do I go up against all the big girls in open? So, question answered. PCA, you can only do one category, so I do junior. Bikini junior, I am a bikini junior champ and overall champ. Now for NPC is where you can enter multiple categories. Now the prices of registrations have severely gone up, so we are sticking to 2. But last year I did do 3 for my regional. I did novice, bikini novice, meaning you never won an overall in NPC. Now I have won overalls in PCA but not in PC, so technically I still can do novice. Then we did junior because I am under the age of 23. And yes, I do open. I'm usually about class E or F, depending on how they measure me on the day, really. So that's that. And somebody asked me about my competing plans for this year. Not even competing plans, but competing goals. Like, what am I looking to get out of my shows and all of that. So obviously we're starting with PCA Ireland, which is the show that I did 2 years in a row, and I won the overall in 2 years in a row. So obviously the goal for this year is to win the show again. If I don't, you know, whoever's there on the day, whoever's better than me will take the sword. But I am going to try my best to really bring it for that show and hopefully get another sword. Number 3. Then we've got a regional. Now it is the exact same regional that I did last year, and I was at the very end of the second call out line. So I think my goal for that show will be to be in the top call outs, the first call outs, top 5, top 3 even. Obviously I'd love to win a class, so there's that. Then we have a pro qualifier that I am keeping under wraps for now. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'll be doing bikini junior and open in the pro qualifier. So I'm going to be honest, I'd love to win bikini junior at least. But if I'm in the top 10 in either junior or open, I will be really, really happy with that, because the main goal from that show is to get feedback. Improve on what needs to be improved in order to come back very strong in 2025 competing for a pro card. And then PCA British Finals. I did PCA British Finals in my first ever season competing, and I came 3rd in my junior class. Now keep in mind, I was absolutely tiny with barely any muscle on me at that time. So my goal for that show is definitely to win bikini junior, which would make me a British champion and possibly a PCA pro. Now, I probably won't be keeping the title of a PCA Pro if I win it, because my ultimate goal is NPC and you can't be in pro in both. But since I am taking the year off next year, I can definitely stay a PCA Pro for a year if I get a pro card. And it would be huge for my posing business, you know, pose with a PCA Pro. That does sound good, doesn't it? So that is the competing plans for this year. Obviously then, big off season 2024, and we'll be attacking 2025 stronger than ever. But right now my biggest goal is just to push through prep, come in conditioned enough, and just bring my best to my shows. So I hope that answers that question. I'm going to get my meal in now, then I'm going to check in with my posing client at 4, just make those final little tweaks and, you know, give her a little pep talk before tomorrow. I'll probably be chatting to her in the morning tomorrow as well. And then I have one more girl checking in with me in the evening today. So it's going to be a busy one. I'm going to be full of nerves tomorrow when they're stepping on stage. But yeah, let's get this meal in and let's hop on the call. You know what? It's funny, when you're on prep, treating yourself means getting expensive water. I love a San Pellegrino. I usually get it when we go for Italian, but today is just water. But I have just checked in with my first posing client competing tomorrow. Emotions are real. There were a few tears. I'm so proud of her. Her name is Megan. She is a first-timer bikini competitor. And she's been on quite the journey. Let me tell you, most people would have quit if they were her. She prepped through dealing with food issues, eating disorders. She prepped through dealing with the loss of a very important family member. And I know well that she is stepping on stage for that person and for herself, obviously. So I'm really proud of her, and she should be so proud of herself. And as I told her, as I will tell my other client, and as I would tell anybody that is one day out from a show, the work is done. You should just go up there, have fun, and show everyone how proud you are of what you're bringing. Because no matter what, you spent weeks grinding to get to that moment, and you should be so proud of yourself for just completing a prep, let alone stepping on stage. And obviously if you do win, that is a bonus. Yeah, I thought I'd answer another question since we're here, and since we're talking prep, I have a very good one. Does prep affect your sex drive? Yes, very much so. Now, first few weeks of prep, I'd say until about mid-prep, I'd say, depending on your protocols, nothing really changes in that department, but as your food goes down, as your energy goes down, and you get to the point where you're eating enough food just to pretty much keep you alive, sex is the last thing on your mind. Let me just put it that way. Yeah, that pretty much answers the question, doesn't it? I mean, when you're tired and you can barely walk up the stairs, but you really want to be having sex and getting all the extra activity, and when you're on like 70, 80, 90, 120 minutes of cardio, like, let's be real, you know, you just want to get to bed and sleep. I have another question that is actually a really good topic to touch on. Somebody asked me, how many calories do you eat like 3 weeks out? 800 calorie? Now, there is no straight answer to this. I can tell you how many calories I'll be eating when I'm 3 weeks out this year, but keep in mind it is so person dependent. To be honest, prep dependent. I've been on completely different macros every single prep. Like, the lowest we went to in my first prep was like 1,000. The lowest we went to in my second prep was 600. So I really can't even predict where I'm going to be at 3 weeks out this year. And, you know, it shouldn't really matter to people how many calories I'll be eating, because you literally cannot work off that. You know, your body is smart. Your body has its own needs, and obviously it all depends on where your hormones are, how your activity levels are, stress levels, just how your body, let's say, processes certain macronutrients like carbs or fats. Like, my body is very sensitive to carbs, so in prep we do tend to drop the carbs quite a lot and focus on getting most of the calories from protein and fats. Like, last year I ran about half of my prep on just protein and fats, pretty much, with a little refeeds in between just to give me some energy. But yeah, so literally there is no straight answer to this. I can't even tell you how many I'll be eating this prep at 3 weeks out, because we're not there yet. We are 11 weeks out, and a lot could happen between now and 3 weeks out. So definitely stay tuned for that, because I will be documenting all of it. Actually, next week we're going up to Dublin to train at a really cool gym called Westside. I've always wanted to train there, so I'm obviously going to bring you guys. So stay tuned for next week's video as well. But yeah, it is currently 4:30. I need to go put my next meal together, put my phone on charge. So I will bring you along to meal number 3, and I'll answer a couple more questions, maybe 1 or 2. And I did say John and I are going to sit down and answer a few, but we might actually do that tomorrow. But obviously it'll still be part of this vlog. We'll see how the day goes. I do want to get some time to chill, because I've been absolutely wrecked this weekend. Like, today I feel good because I'm buzzing off the energy of my girls, but yesterday, Jesus Christ, I came home, I felt sick, I just wanted to go to bed. I ended up going to bed like 8 p.m. I got home at 7, I was in bed at 8. So, but yeah, today is a brand new day. I feel much better today, and hopefully it carries on for the next few days. And to be honest, I have so much going on today. Like, I have my posing clients, I have to go shopping, cardio, posing. Now checking in with my girls. We have to go see John's parents as well. So I'm busy. I'm only running on 2 meals at 4:30. No carbs, really, just 4 corn cakes. My next meal is no carbs either, and my last meal is no carbs. I only have like 1 proper carb meal today. So, you know, I am on like 1,100 calories today, really. So I'm surprised I'm not hungrier than I am. But as I said, I think it's just the energy I'm buzzing off. So yeah, I'm going to go downstairs, make my meal. I think John actually cooked my turkey kindly for me while I was up here. So yeah, it's literally just turkey mince, 1% turkey mince, 125 grams, and veg. That's it. My mom is currently cooking in the kitchen, so I have to wait a few minutes before I can go and make my meal. So I thought I'd hop on and answer a few more questions. I actually had to pull them up on my boyfriend's phone because my phone is charging, but I've got some good ones here for you. Question number 1. How do you handle anxiety and stress during prep? Now that is a big one for me because I am a stress ball, always, and in prep it's amplified for sure. But you know what, my coach said something really good to me today. He was like, when you're stressing and just, you know, over stressing about your physique, prep, everything else, you're pretty much stalling your own progress. So he was like, every time this happens, just tell yourself like, no, Olivia, you're slowing down your own progress by stressing about it. So that's definitely a good thing, but obviously easier said than done. The only way for me sometimes is to just push through it. Sometimes just kind of, you know, be like, okay, I'm really stressed, I'm really anxious, there's nothing I can do about it, so we're just gonna have to crack on somehow. But there's also really good ways of dealing with it, and I actually did talk about it in my last video where I talked about mindset and mental health during prep. So feel free to click back in that video and I talk about it in a lot more depth. Like sometimes I literally just need to be alone with my thoughts, maybe get them out on paper or go for a walk, listen to a podcast, listen to some music, and just be alone with it. Be aware of how I'm feeling and just be like, okay, this is how I'm feeling. There's not much I can do about it, but just try and control it. So that's that. Question number 2. Do you feel you have a lot to live up to after winning overalls in past seasons? 100% yes. I did really well in my first 2 years competing with PCA. I have won overall bikini in both of my shows, and I'm up in the same show this year and up against my posing clients as well. So yes, it does put a lot of pressure on me. I already felt the pressure last year and I certainly do feel it again this year. But as I said, if there's somebody better than me there on the day, they deserve to win. Just because I won 2 years in a row doesn't mean I have to win again, you know? And in regards NPC shows, no, there is absolutely no pressure because NPC shows were my first of the season last year and I knew I wasn't exactly ready for them yet. So I wasn't expecting any high placings, and obviously I didn't place at all. I was in the second call outs. So no, there is absolutely no pressure put on me for NPC this year. The only thing I want to do is improve from last year, and right now we are already in a much better position than we were at this point in prep last year. So that is already a big win. This kind of ties in with another question I have there. I'm really hungry now and I'm just waiting for the kitchen to free up so I can make my meal. But yeah, I'll answer a couple more questions with my next meal and then we're probably going to leave it at that until John and I sit down together to answer a few questions. Current situation, the house is full downstairs, so we're eating in bed. Like I told you, 125 grams of turkey mince, salad, 1 pickle, mushrooms, peppers, like always. I stick to the same veg because it works. And we're just chilling in bed eating this meal. John has a bowl of oats.
75 grams, believe it or not.
74 grams oats, 30 whey.
30 whey.
30 whey.
20 nut butter.
20 nut butter. Oh yeah, today's training day for you. So yeah, let's answer another question before I get this meal in. John, ask me a question.
Oh, what are the main side effects, benefits you've experienced of taking PEDs?
Okay, side effects of PEDs. Now, see, the thing is, I know I'm an assisted athlete, but I wouldn't really call myself a PED user because they're literally just fat burners and thyroid hormones, but absolutely no side effects to T3 and T4. The only side effects I did experience are from Clen, which were, for the first week, nearly a whole week, migraine-like headaches. Literally had to leave the gym one day. I couldn't look at the light. My head was pounding. Handshakes, which was very difficult in the first week of work because I work under a microscope with small things and my hands were like this. And just body shakes in general. My whole body was shaking for like a day or two. Then it was just the hands. But now, even that we've upped the dosage, my body's just used to the substance at this stage, so it doesn't do anything in terms of side effects. Obviously benefits, my heart rate goes up so much quicker during cardio. I was on level 6 on the Stairmaster today and my heart rate was like 160, average heart rate 150, so I wasn't even sweating that much. So that's good. Definitely the increased heart rate, and with that obviously does come fat loss. It's still very up and down. This week has been good. I've been dropping like 0.3, 0.4 every single day since we upped clean. So hopefully that continues. But honestly, I don't really see any difference if I'm being honest, apart from that. You know, after the first week, all the side effects went and I literally don't feel anything. But obviously they are still working in the background. So let's get a scoop of food in now, because I'm starving and we do need to leave the house soon. So I'm just gonna get some on my fork. I like turkey. I only have it on rest days. Okay, let's answer a final question now. Let's choose a good one.
In your opinion, is bodybuilding worth the expense, and why?
Yes. Because I said so. No, honestly, is it worth the expense? Are we talking financial expense?
Yeah, because it's expensive.
It is very expensive. I told you I'm making a spreadsheet of all the money we're spending on this prep, so there'll be a video at the end of the series. Let's just say this is my 3rd year competing. If I didn't think it's worth spending the money, I definitely wouldn't be competing 3 years in a row.
Most expensive year, probably.
What?
It'll be your most expensive.
Yeah, this is definitely the most expensive year with the most amount of shows, and obviously one show being abroad, not just England. Although England has been actually more expensive than the other show we're booking. So obviously there is more supplements, PEDs as I like to call them. So yeah, the expense is definitely higher at this prep. But yes, it is worth it because I am literally living my dream. You know by now, bodybuilding, I literally live and breathe bodybuilding. I want to take competing very far in the future, which brings along another question: what are your future plans? Obviously, I do want to be an IFBB pro one day. Not yet. I'm not ready yet, and I know my physique is not ready yet, but I do want to be an IFBB pro. I want to be a top level posing coach, and I do want to put time and money and effort into educating myself around prep coaching next year. So obviously my whole life I wanted to revolve around bodybuilding. So I think it is definitely worth putting in the money right now, so you can do what you love and obviously make money out of it in the future. We're going to leave it at that. I'm going to finish my meal and we're going to get ready to leave the house. Like I told you, we're going to see John's parents, and yeah, we'll sit down either tonight when I'm checking in with one more posing client that's competing tomorrow, or we'll sit down tomorrow at some stage and answer some couple questions, because keep in mind both of us are on prep. We're a bodybuilding couple on prep, so you bet there's a good few questions that people have asked us. It is time for meal number 4 and the best meal of the day. We've got 40 grams of oats that I have soaked in hot water for a couple of hours. I've done it earlier. With that, we're going to have 15 grams of Train by GP Isolate vanilla ice cream from My Core Supplements. As always, use code Olivia for a 10% discount. With that, we're going to have 15 grams of peanut butter that I'll show you at the end, and 50 grams of berries. Today we're going for fresh raspberries. And for the star of the show, hear me out, prep Nutella. I hate 85% dark chocolate, so when I have time, this is what I do. I've broken up 10 grams of dark chocolate. I've put in a tiny little drop, like literally half a teaspoon of this no sugar almond vanilla milk, and about 2 drops of just any flavor drops. I'm gonna put this in the microwave for about 10 seconds and it'll come out in like a Nutella paste thing, and I just put it on top of my oats. So this is what it looks like when it comes out of the microwave, literally 10 seconds, and if you give it a good stir, it literally turns into like Nutella consistency. I know it doesn't look pretty, but it definitely tastes better than just plain 85%. Tiny bit of pink salt on top of the peanut butter. And my favorite, sweet cinnamon from Tesco. Just a little bit or a lot. Baby spoon, and then look at the consistency of that literal Nutella. Believe it or not, this is the biggest meal of the day. So we're gonna eat this up. I have about half an hour to kill now by eating this meal, and then we're gonna hop on a call with Edita for our final little one night out from show day posing check-in. Okay, we're just about to hop on a call. She doesn't know I'm filming, so.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so let's get into the quarter turns first. Obviously, yeah, keep your hands away from your body. We don't want to ruin the tan. Pop that glute. There we go. Don't forget to pop that glute. Oh, that was amazing.
I'm done.
That was amazing.
What?
I'm so proud of you.
No. Don't fucking cry. I can't cry. I've thought on.
Okay. I'm gonna log off and cry.
I was 60.
I'm gonna be a nerve wreck tomorrow between you and Megan.
Don't be. I'm sweating already.
I know. Don't sweat. Don't sweat.
No.
It is 8:30 p.m. We are all showered and all the posing check-ins and everything is done for the day. So it's time for last meal. My subs, my evening subs that I told you I'd show you. And then my plan is, because we're going into town tomorrow, it's quite a chill day with the girls competing. I'll obviously just be on call non-stop. So my plan is to sit down with John tomorrow at some stage during the day and answer all the questions you guys had for the both of us. So that is the plan. Let's go downstairs, get those subs in, get that meal in, and hop into bed with that last meal and watch some Grey's Anatomy and get a good night's sleep so my weight drops again tomorrow. So PM subs are really simple because I get most of my subs in during the day. So we've got ashwagandha to lower those cortisol levels, keep those stress levels at bay. It's really good to take after training just to bring down stress levels because your body is under a lot of stress after a training session. Then we've got Train by JP Love Heart for my heart health, especially now with assistance. Thyroid stack because, yeah, my thyroid is low, so any bit of help. And then the Digest Max vanilla flavor from Strom that I told you about in the morning just for my tummy. So yeah, all of these going in, 1 tab, 3 tabs, half a scoop, and everything is from Mycore supplements, just like all of my supplements are, and you can use code Oliwia. Those are literally all the subs that I take in a day alongside the ones that I showed you in the morning. I don't take anything intra-workout apart from electrolytes. Don't take EAAs because they have a lot of artificial sweeteners and they tend to hurt my stomach. Creatine usually goes in before training, and obviously I don't have any intra carbs or anything like that. So that is my whole supplement stack, but I do go into it in a lot more detail in my other videos. Last meal tradition, we eat it in bed. We've got Grey's playing on the background because we're too lazy to put it on the big screen, aren't we?
Yeah, it's so far away.
It's so far away. Yeah. So we're just gonna watch it. It's not a smart TV, so we actually have to plug in the HDMI so we don't bother half the time. So got Grey's, got John's meal over there. I've got my cute little table that I also drawn. Not on the table, you know what I mean. Anyway, last meal. We have my famous carb-free tacos that I have made in previous videos already. So there is a step-by-step in the other videos, but I mean, do you really need a step-by-step with putting with putting chicken and veg into some lettuce. So we've got big romaine leaves, and then we have got 125 grams of chicken seasoned with pink salt and cinnamon, the same one I use for my oats. Some mushrooms, some peppers, 20 grams of peanut butter, and then I just made a little side salad of extra lettuce and extra veg and all the chicken that didn't fit in the tacos. And I've also put on some sugar-free sweet chili sauce and a tiny little bit of mustard. And then for dessert, we've got 50 grams of blueberries. And this can... Hello YouTube. It is a Sunday afternoon. We've just been to town. It's the next day, I know. And we are going to sit down in a little while to answer your questions. But I just want to say the girls are about to go on stage and I am literally shitting it for them. I am so nervous, but so excited. I know they're going to do amazing, but this is the first time my clients are like stepping on stage proper. Like, okay, I did have one girl competing last year, but we literally only had like 2 lessons, so it was kind of more of like a posing checkup with her. Whereas these girls, I've literally posed them through their off season into prep, all throughout prep, sometimes like every single week. I've seen them in person, and it's show day today and I'm so nervous. They're literally about to go on stage in the next 15-20 minutes. So my plan is to sit down and answer your questions after they get off stage so I can tell you how everything went. And we'll answer some juicy questions together. How does that sound?
Scary.
Yeah, scary. And keep in mind, he has not seen the questions. I've seen the questions, obviously. He has not seen the questions, so we're gonna... We'll see if he stutters. Alrighty, so update. My first client today, Wellness PCA, just won her class.
Amazing.
I cried. So I'm waiting for Bikini to go on now, for my second client to go on, and then obviously the overall. So Edita will be in the overall, so we are potentially fighting for a sword. And her posing was just flawless. Her eye walk, the confidence, oh, she just destroyed them. But
She's your fangirling.
I'm fangirling. I love her so much. But John's already leaving. Okay. So it is time we get into some couple questions. Bodybuilding couple, prep couple questions. Are you ready?
I don't know yet. We'll see after the first.
Are you ready? Okay. Alright, I have all the screenshots of the questions. So, should we start with something easy? Do you have the same coach?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
We do.
So I have been working with Mike Geary since my first season. So this is our third season together. And John started working with him last year. They went through a cutting phase, then a improvement phase, and now he is in prep. So yes, we're both under Mike, and we will be seeing him soon in person for in-person check-ins.
In Manchester.
In Manchester, very excited. Will you be at each other's shows?
Yes.
I would not miss his first show.
So I kind of plan my shows so I can be at all of her shows.
Yeah, the way we did it. So I'm competing. Then 2 weeks after I finish all my shows, he's starting his shows. We've already got our holidays approved at work. Yeah. So we will not miss each other's shows. No. I would never miss his first show, and I know he wouldn't miss mine. He went to all my shows last year with me.
100% record.
So yes, of course we will be at each other's shows. Are your diets very different or similar?
The volume is very different.
The volume is very different. Our food...
I've a lot more different meats. So she can't really have beef, so I have beef. And then on rest, yeah, and then on rest days I have salmon. I have turkey. Yeah.
So you'll notice I don't have any fatty meats because my body just doesn't digest them very well. So I add fats into the diet in forms of like peanut butter, dark chocolate, and egg yolks. But like food wise, like product wise, they're very similar. Like especially when I have more food now, I'm much lower carb than you.
Yeah.
But back in like our off season, our foods were quite similar, like chicken and rice, potato, obviously, yeah, chicken, oats, cream of rice. Like our post workout is pretty much the same, just different volumes.
The only thing I don't have that you've had for quite a while is berries.
Berries, yeah. I have a lot of fruit. A lot of my carbs actually come from berries and like pineapple right now, which you actually don't have.
No, not yet.
But I'd say you will when the food drops a bit, yeah. So yeah, our foods. Our meal plans are quite different, but a lot of the things are very similar. So like up until now, even the breakfast was pretty much the same, just different quantities. Chicken and rice, just different quantities. So a lot of the time our meals are very similar, but just different quantities. And I have the ability of making them twice the volume of his, even though I have half the food.
To be honest though, like at the volume that I'm eating, I don't want that much volume when I'm eating cream of rice or oats.
And another difference, on a training day, he has 6 meals, I have 5.
Yeah.
What is your favourite meal from your meal plan right now?
With the veg that we have, it's definitely the beef meal.
The beef meal?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've seen the veg that I make.
And then on rest day, it's salmon.
Salmon, I hate
it's
salmon.
A bit of a treat.
I don't eat salmon. What was I going to say? What are your calories?
So at the moment, training day calories is 3,366, and then rest day is about 3,000.
Yeah, so keep in mind he is in prep right now, and my food has never even gone to that level. I am a 1,400 training day, 1,160 on a rest day. So yeah, different, but similar in a way. How is prep going to look like for the both of you? I'll let you answer this one.
We'll see as time goes on. At the moment it's actually fairly fine because I'm not really hungry, or I'm not too hungry. You're quite hungry.
I'm quite hungry. Now that the food has dropped a good bit and cardio's up to 17 minutes, I am hungry.
Yeah, and when I get very hungry, like last year we did an 8-week cut. When I got really hungry, I went very quiet. So.
When I'm hungry, I go quiet too.
Yeah.
So
we just be sitting here like.
Pretty much, yeah. Also, excuse my nose. For some reason, I just have a blocked nose today. My head is pounding. I don't know why. But like in terms of prep itself, it's not going to be much different between the two of us. Obviously, food will differ, cardio will differ, but we tend to train on the same days. Yeah. We kind of try to eat our meals together. Obviously, when we do stuff at the weekends, we always bring our meals with us. So our schedules are very much similar. We get up in the morning, I do my cardio, we both head off to work. after work, we both train, we eat our post-workout meal together, last meal in bed, and off to sleep. So our routines as such are a little bit similar.
Yeah.
Especially once you get a bit deeper into prep and like cardio increases and stuff like that, our routines will become very similar, I'd say.
I started doing some early morning cardio as well, just on rest days.
Just to get out of the way in the morning, so he doesn't have to go to the gym just to do cardio after. And he has a bit more time for me in the evenings then. Alright. Do you fight a lot when one of you is in prep? So we can relate to this to my last prep because it was just me that was on prep. Yeah. I wouldn't say we fought.
No.
We've never really gotten into a massive fight.
No, we just go quiet.
We tend to go, like, I told you that before, I tend to kind of bottle up my emotions when I'm hungry, when I'm tired. And at the same time, like, a part of me doesn't really want to bother you with how I'm feeling in prep. Like, I'm hungry, I'm tired, I'm an emotional mess, but it's not your fault, and I don't want to bother you with it. But at the same time, I know I do take it out on you sometimes.
But at the same time, I'm quite the opposite. When I see her, like, distressed or sad, I bother her a lot then, because I need to know what's going on.
But that annoys me.
It makes it worse.
But that annoys me, so I snap at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had that a few times, but.
So obviously that's been when one of us is in prep. So this time we'll see. Obviously both of us are in prep now. I don't know what his moods are going to be like. You've never gone through such a long cutting phase. You've never gotten down to that level of body fat. You don't know how you're going to be feeling. Let's face it.
I think I'll be fine.
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. Maybe like coming up to peak week.
The main thing we've kind of like talked about is communication.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult. We know it's going to be difficult for the both of us. It'll definitely be a challenge for our relationship. Mm-hmm. But it's where the communication comes in. We need to be open with how we're feeling. If something is bothering us, we need to tell each other. Like a couple of weeks back, we had a little rocky situation between us, and we literally went outside, sat on the grass, and talked it out. Mm-hmm. So that's something we need to keep doing.
And one other thing as well, I think when we were traveling a lot last year, that really kind of told a lot as well, because obviously you were in the depths.
Yeah.
And I was there as well, trying to be support. So I don't know, kind of going through the motions of going away on trips and stuff like that. When she's so deep in prep, it kind of showed what it was going to be like for myself as well, almost.
Yeah, he's seen everything, so he kind of knows what to expect. Yeah. Like, I think we'll leave it at this. I don't want to make this too long because I'd say the video is pretty long with everything we did yesterday. How much time do you actually spend together? Do you struggle to find time outside of the gym? I'll let you start.
No, we don't really, because we live together, so we always see each other. Obviously you're posing coaching a lot. Yes,
so posing has definitely taken over a lot of my free time and the time that we normally would spend together.
But we still get our time.
So basically, the thing for us is obviously we are crazy busy during the day. We don't see each other during the day because I head off to work, he heads off to work. We see each other in the gym for a period of time. I'm usually like halfway through my session by the time he gets to the gym because I finish work a bit earlier because I start earlier. And then Saturdays for me are just crazy when it comes to posing and meal prep and getting things done, especially now with the girls competing. But we do we have a few rituals that kind of make sure we still have that bond, that we don't neglect our relationship, and that is trying to eat our post-workout meal together. Always eating our last meal together.
It's just eating meals.
No, I'm getting to it, okay? We always eat our last meal together.
Always.
Yeah. What else? Sunday, I do still sometimes take clients on a Sunday, but I try to only take them in the morning. So we still have the whole Sunday to ourselves. Like today, we got dressed up. We went to town, got a few bits, we went for coffees. Coffee dates are very important for us. Yeah, we love our coffee dates. I mean, every morning he actually gets up a little bit earlier than he needs to just to see me before I head off to work. It's those little things, you know. We always, every single day, even if it's just half an hour, we always sit down and spend some time together, whether it's eating, whether it's watching something in bed or watching TikToks sometimes. Yeah. So yeah, we don't really struggle to find time together outside of the gym because, as you said, we do live together. But the time that we share at the gym is just as important to us, and that is going to bring me on to the next question. But that brings me on to the next question. How did you meet, and how did you manage to find the balance when you're both training so hard? Where did we meet?
At the gym.
We met in
Where
the
else
gym.
would we would have met?
We are the warehouse gym favorite couple.
Yeah.
Literally created us. Now, we didn't talk in the gym first.
No. So she works, or she used to work in a coffee shop really close to where I work. So it was just accident as well that we went there. One of the lads was leaving work, so we went in and get a coffee before he went off. So we were in there, and I noticed that she was working in there. And I was seeing her at the gym. I was kind of like gazing over there in the gym, you know.
We were both pretty much checking each other
Yeah.
out, but both of us thought the other half is showing no interest.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I obviously told the girls at work about him because I was literally fangirling over this guy from the gym, my gym crush, as I called you.
And I told the lads at work as well.
And he told the lads.
Yeah.
He walked into the cafe. My heart dropped. I ran to the girls in the back in the kitchen. I was like, oh my god, that's him.
But when I went in the first time,
He didn't talk to me.
I put my head down because I didn't get my hair cut.
And he put his
I
head
wasn't
down,
wearing
he
nice
ignored
clothes,
me. I was pacing
so-
up and down the cafe trying to get him to notice
And
me,
I was
at
just like
least
this.
say hi. Nothing. But then a couple of days later, he came in,
Fresh haircut,
fresh haircut,
new clothes.
and he asked me out for a coffee.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. We went,
Yeah.
there is the story behind our first date and everything in one of the other videos. But that's how it started. We then got a training session in together.
Yeah.
And then 6 months
Just-
later, you were living here.
6 months, yeah. It didn't actually take that long.
Didn't.
She told me, or she asked me to move in.
Because pretty much,
Yeah.
okay, so if you don't know the story, I live in my parents' house. My parents are no longer together. They still co-own the house, and obviously one of my parents was moving out, meaning there was a lot of space in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So until we move away together, my dad offered to let John live here.
He did. He liked me.
And my dad still thinks it was the best decision, especially since I was deep in prep. Obviously John understood a bit more than everybody else what I do. So I definitely needed that support at that stage.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you moved in so early in prep rather than at the end of it as well.
She asked me, and I was like, "Yep," straight away.
Yeah, he
When
didn't,
I
even,
knew it.
he didn't even think about it. He was like, yeah, I already got my bags packed, you know?
Pretty much. Like.
What are your goals for the future? Bodybuilding, life, everything. So, easy. We have a 5-year plan made for the both of us. So, I'm going to start with me. Within the next year or so, even less, we are moving out. Start of next year, hopefully.
Yeah.
We're moving out into an apartment. I told you all this before. We are creating a posing studio. So that is my biggest plan right now. I want to be a full-time posing coach and prep coach in the coming year or two. Obviously, you've got your goals at work as well. You want to get your chartership.
Yeah.
So he's a civil engineer.
I'm a civil engineer, so need to get chartership, and then so we're moving out. It'll be posing studio slash office.
Yeah, we are gonna. I am gonna put a little desk in the corner for you.
Yeah, just in the corner as well.
Yeah.
In regards to bodybuilding and stuff like that, I would like to get my personal trainer certificate as well. That's something that I'm looking to do next year, and then.
What are your competing goals?
So get through this year first, and then take a long off season. After seeing all the shows last year, I know that I'm going to want to pursue NPC and maybe that federation or PCA as well.
So obviously, John is a natural athlete.
Yeah.
So pretty much, I'm gonna simplify this because he's scared to say it out loud. He wants to compete this year, see what it's like, then take an off season, push a lot of gear, and compete against the big boys.
Exactly. Yeah.
And obviously for me, this is my 3rd year competing now. I know exactly what needs to be done pretty much. So this year is it's my last year as a junior, so I want to have fun with it and then take a nice 1.5 years off season, and then 2025 come back fighting for a pro card because I do want to be a professional bikini athlete.
Where do we want to move to after the
And coming back to the 5-year plan, we want to move out to Dubai.
Dubai.
Why Dubai?
Because it's amazing.
It's amazing. It has the best gyms, life over there. Everybody that I know that moved over there has nothing but good things to say. How much better the quality of life over there is.
Everything.
Bodybuilding is massive there. The gyms are insane, and it's just the community over there, and just the facilities and everything that'll be available to us over there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, why 5 years? Because A, we need to make a bit more money before we move.
Yes.
And B, I do want to be fully self-employed by the time we move, and that is going to happen. So, this concludes our little couple Q&A. Part 1. If you want a part 2, please head over to Instagram, name on the screen. I'll also pop John's name on the screen as well, his Instagram, because he finally started posting.
Well, one post.
One prep
posting.
update. Yeah, but now you're gonna post every week now. You're gonna post prep updates every week now.
Yeah.
So I'll teach him how social media works.
I don't even know how to make a reel.
I'll teach you. I'll make your reels. I can make your reels. So head over to our Instagrams and you can ask us more questions over there, or even just leave them in the comments. If you've enjoyed this, please like the video, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment, as I said, if you want to. And stay tuned for the next video. I have something fun planned for next week, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. But as always, new live video every Saturday, 8 AM. So stay tuned. And I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!